What's going on, you guys? So today we have the unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. I just got this in the mail. I wanted you guys to get the first look on it, so we're gonna unpack it and then I'll come back and I'll do the review on this. So this phone, everything you see in this box, I got this on pre-order from Samsung, from the Samsung website. I traded in a Galaxy Z Flip 5. And I had no military discounts, and I had no student discounts, and I had no first responder discounts, and I paid $790 for what is all in this box. Plus, I got to send them back my Galaxy Z Flip 5. I'm not really rocking with the prices on these phones this year. At $1,400, we're really pushing the limit on these Samsungs. But, let's break into the phone and let's see what it can do. Because as much as I don't like the pricing, I have been super excited for this phone because usually I use the Ultras or the Notes as my daily driver. This is going to replace my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I'm just going to go to using that iPhone as a camera full time now. So let's go ahead and break in here. I was salty about paying $790, and I know you guys, you can't bitch too much about it because it is what it is. Prices are going up on everything. But, I'm trying to save money right now, so this is kind of, my girl and I are starting to have the marriage and the wedding conversation. So I'm trying to start budgeting kind of for that, and obviously that's not an expense like Chinese food. It's not a $50 expense. So anyway, if you guys are a little tight with money, this is going to be a hard hit. Especially if you're buying it straight out for $1,400, this is going to be a hit. So let's break into this and see what's up. All right, so box from Samsung. Comes out. Guys, I'm excited for this phone. I've been waiting for this Ultra since I cracked my S23 Ultra. Set this off to the side here. Okay, here's all that I got. Here's what they sent me. And again, this was $790 out of pocket. Plus, I'm giving them my Galaxy Z Flip 5. We have the screen protector. We got the phone, Galaxy S24 Ultra. Got another screen protector. And this is all the screen protectors. We got a silicone case, and we got a clear gadget case. And these cases and the screen protectors were included with a $100 Samsung credit. So I reserved my phone. Samsung will email you or text you to reserve your phone when it's time. I reserved my phone. They gave me a $100 credit for doing that. Now, the $100 credit can't be used towards the phone itself. It's got to be used towards the accessories. All the credits that Samsung gives me, I'd rather they would just let me use it all on the phone and take the price down to something manageable. Because, it took me, like I said, I'm saving for some future expenses, and it took me a little bit to hit that purchase button this year. You guys remember a couple years ago, Samsung let you trade in 2 phones for the Folds when they were really trying to push sales. Now they're like $1,400, get out of the store. We don't give a shit about you. So let's tear into this right here. Got the box, thin as can be. I'm never gonna quit complaining about this. Ripping off. Okay. Here we are, guys. Box comes out. You guys see I got the burnt orange. Oh, I'm stoked. I've been waiting for this phone with the pen, you guys. Books and everything. And we get the cable. And I don't see the SIM card ejector tool, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere. Okay, phone, orange. Feels nice, you guys. Oh, that thing feels good. All right, let's go ahead and rip that off. Beautiful. You guys see that burnt orange? Love that. Love the look of that. This was one of the Samsung exclusive colors that you get just off their website. So if you guys are going to get this through your carrier or through a third party or whatever, this orange won't be available. So this is what it looks like. If you guys can take a look. I'm getting ready to fire this phone up and start playing with it. Man, this looks nice. This looks nice already compared to last year. I do feel a difference. So let me get this thing powered on and let me see what's going on with this phone, and I'll be back to do the review, you guys. As you can see, Samsung Galaxy, let's do it. Okay guys, so we're back to do the full review, and it's a different day, it's a different hoodie, it's a different Band-Aid. This one's got Chucky on it from the Rugrats. I gotta get rid of this, it's so unclassy, but I'm sitting at the therapist and I get so stressed out, I'm picking at my hand and all that, and I'm ripping stuff off. Anyway, we're back to do this review, and let's dive right in. The Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, all right? So, let's go over the important specs. First, I just want to say, I do buy all these phones out of my own pocket, whether I trade it in or I buy it straight up. So these reviews are my actual opinions on the phone. I try to, you know, it's obviously late. This phone's been out for a few weeks now, but man, I get so tired of getting caught up in the rat race. You know, I want to use this phone for a while. And when I reviewed the Xiaomi 13 Ultra, I used this phone for a while before I reviewed it. And I'm glad I did, because it gave me a full featured list of the, you know, pros and cons. And really with this phone, I really just got to the point, I've been using it since it came out. I pre-ordered it. And I'm just getting to the point where I feel like I could do a review on it and you know, kind of get the ins and outs. I've used it enough for the new feeling to wear off a little bit and really get a feel for the phone. So let's go over the important specs, okay? This phone has a 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display, 2600 nit peak brightness. This is bright, you guys. This is a bright phone, all right? Comes in 256 gig, 512, or 1 terabyte storage. For the cameras, you got a 200 megapixel, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 50 megapixel periscope, and 10 megapixel telephoto camera. The front is a 12 megapixel camera. You got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, 45 watt wired, and 15 watt wireless charging. Okay, I'm just going through a little bit of the specs. We're gonna go over this all. So, let's start off with the display, all right? This display, you guys, is so bright. This display, so I keep my stuff at peak brightness just because we spend so much money on these phones that, you know, I might as well, I wanna use all the stuff. I wanna use the highest grade stuff. So I have live wallpapers, I try to customize all my stuff and you know, so this phone is super bright, you guys. The colors look super nice. Let's see if we can set a different wallpaper real quick so you guys can see something bright. Let me try something. I got a bunch of wallpapers here. Home screen. You guys, this display is absolutely beautiful. There is something about this, the way it looks, how crisp the font is. Like if you look, I've got this app up here and I've got the widget that's got my weather on here, and it just looks, the letters look so crisp, nice, and professional. I absolutely love this display. The refresh rate, 120 hertz maximum refresh rate, fantastic. This phone is absolutely top of the line specs. So before you even review it, before you even go into it, all of this stuff is the best out right now. All right, the batteries, all of these things are the best out right now, except maybe the 5x zoom. And anyway, we'll get to that in a bit. So the display is super bright. It's a big, beautiful 6.8-inch rectangle. All right, I love the flat display. I was getting, like a lot of these other guys, reviewers, I was getting tired of the curved display. I love the flat display on this phone, okay? It's big. This reminds me of how the Note used to feel back when you first got the Note 3 or Note 4 or whatever, and you're holding the slab. It's the biggest, you know, it's the biggest of the phones that Samsung offers. It's the square, professional, nice, sharp feel. Personally, I absolutely love it. It does look a little bit different than the S23 Ultra. I personally love this look. I also love the S23 Ultra. That was a great looking phone, but I wasn't much for the curved screens. I'm starting to get kind of tired of it. It's kind of hard to use it with the S Pen. It always kept sliding off. I always had stupid little problems with it. Anyway, it's beautiful, but you know, I am so glad they went back to the full flat screen display. It's gorgeous. It's fantastic. Okay, this also is an anti-reflective screen, which I haven't heard really enough about for how good it is, and I haven't really heard heard it advertised really. But what it is, it's when you put this phone up in the sun, it's not gonna reflect as much as other screens. So you're gonna still be able to see your screen in the sun, when there's a light shining on it. And it's actually a fantastic feature that you don't notice just because, you're gonna be using. It's available to you without you opting in or opting out. So you're just gonna get the benefit of it just from using the phone. Fantastic, absolutely love it. Not advertised enough, not talked about enough, but it's a baller feature. Okay, let's talk about the biometrics. The biometrics on this phone. So here's the deal. If you're coming from a Xiaomi, if you're coming from a Vivo, if you're coming from some of the Chinese phones, the biometrics on this phone are not going to do it for you. If you're coming from a Samsung, if you're coming from iPhone too, it's not going to do it for you because the face unlock. So my problem here is the face unlock. Okay, obviously the fingerprint. Let's try to set it up. Let's try to set up a fingerprint here. We're going to scroll down. Come on. Where are we at? Security and privacy. Biometrics. Fingerprint. Let me throw my pin in here. Add a fingerprint. It says, to get the best scan, press with the pad of your finger inside the circle, then lift it when the circle is fully highlighted. Repeat until you reach 100%. Note that the location of the circle will move a little each time. Let's go ahead and register it. We're not going to do the Chucky and Tommy Rugrats finger. I think this phone, even the screen looks better even in the screen of what I'm filming, even with the glare of the ring light, honestly. So as you guys can see, setting up the fingerprint, easy as always. Face recognition. The face unlock, let's try it. You guys see I'm on the lock screen? Unlocks me, right? So that's how good you get in. This phone's kind of dirty. In practice, it's actually gonna reject you a surprising amount of times. There's a surprising amount of times when I'm in low light, when I'm in different settings that I go to do the face unlock and it just doesn't. It says face doesn't match, face doesn't register. Right now it's doing it okay. I probably got good light out here, which is great. But it says, a lot of times it doesn't work as well as it should. So for me, the fingerprint obviously is great. You have the pin, which, my gripe with the iPhone is that you really only get the face unlock because here on Androids, on the Android phones, I feel like I have a team of doctors working for me. I got the fingerprint, I got the face unlock, I got the pin working for me. On the iPhone is like, no fingerprint, here's your face unlock. But the argument for that is if it works well enough the first time, which it does on Apple, then why would you need why would you need something different, right, to back it up and complicate things? So on this phone, I end up using my fingerprint the most for biometrics because the face unlock is honestly a little unreliable. And for the price of this phone, which it starts at what, $1,400? It's $1,400 for the, let's go look. Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Just trying to hook up to my Wi-Fi. I should have it on my regular. Okay, so $1,300 for the 256 gigabyte. So for this amount of money, that's a substantial amount of money. Now let's talk about this a little bit real quick. I think this phone is, we're creeping up on the prices here, guys. We're creeping up on everything is costing $100 more every year, and I get it. I'm bitching about it, and it is the way of the world. And it's like, why are you bitching about it? Well, I'm going to continue to do so because I don't understand. Everything keeps going up. I go in the grocery store, a bag of chips is $5, a bag of chips is $6. I don't understand what the hell's going on in this world. Anyway, this is a beast of a phone. This is an absolute flagship phone. Obviously at this price range, when you're used to the Xiaomi's, which I don't have my face unlock set up on this phone, if you're used to the Chinese phones, getting you in as quick as, so quick, this face unlock is going to be a little more difficult, and I end up using the fingerprint passcode more often than not. So the sound on this phone, absolutely top of the line, as you would expect, okay? Your headphones are not gonna disconnect. I'm over there lifting the 40s on the shoulder press. Then I gotta go get the 45s because I'm trying to bump my weight up. You know, I've been slowly increasing in weight, right? And my problem right now is I'm not eating enough, but that's always an issue, right? But it is what it is. So the headphones are gonna connect great depending on what headphones you have for Bluetooth. They're gonna be loud. I have the Beats Sports, the ones that hook over your ear, and I need to do a review on those because I actually have a love-hate relationship with those. Anyway, headphones are gonna hook up great. Bluetooth is gonna hook up great. It's gonna sound fantastic. The sound's gonna be super loud. Let's try to check it. Some trance beats for you guys. Right, so the sound is super loud on this phone. Let's try to check out YouTube.
We can. Benoit Saint-Denis. I have to admit, I was a little bit surprised. If only because you have told me in the past, like, you need to get up in the morning. I like it very much. Okay, so.
This is the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3.
Logical order if we can. Right? You need to get excited. You need someone who...
My opinion, it sounds more crisp. The Galaxy S24 sounds crisp, clear, it's loud. You know, you're gonna have no problems in the sound department. Once again, this is a flagship phone. So the sound is gonna be top of the line. It sounds great. The calls sound great. No problems there at all, as you should expect. Okay, so next we got the camera, okay? So it's not a love-hate relationship with this camera. It's a whatever relationship with this camera, okay? Because once you use the Vivo, once you use the portrait mode on the Xiaomi 13 Ultra, the 14, you're gonna come to expect a certain level of quality, okay? And my girl Chelsea always says this, and she's absolutely right. She goes, I just want the pictures to make me look good. And I completely agree with this, okay? So for me, personally, the iPhone has the most realistic pictures out there in the phone, and that's not always good. That's not a compliment, okay? Everything's gonna look super real, but if I look like a catcher's mitt that day, if my face looks like a pit bull when I'm stepping out because I drank too much, or my eyes look like two piss holes in a snowbank, you know, because I'm hungover or pale, or whatever, I need that thing to make me look good. And I don't care how vain that sounds, right? And a lot of us, we're not gonna go in and we're not gonna mess with all of the settings, and we're not gonna know how to. Like, Pro Mode is great, Expert RAW is great, but most of the regular consumer is not gonna go out. My girl is not gonna start messing with the camera settings. She's gonna point and shoot, and she wants that picture to look good. Can't blame her. That's why we're buying a phone. We're paying the price, do the work for us, right? If I wanna customize it, I will later, but do the work for us. So in any case, on this phone, on the Samsung Galaxy 24 Ultra, I feel like it's a middle ground, okay? So the pictures are realistic that you take, and of course I'm gonna throw some up here. The pictures are realistic. They They're not as realistic as the iPhone. And what you really start to get here is the editing features. Okay, so on last year, the Xiaomi 13 had the most fantastic editing features on the camera editor. It really lets you do whatever you want to the photo, for better or for worse. And obviously, I understand all of this is subjective, and some people might listen to this and go, "Oh, well, you don't want your pictures to look real. You want your pictures to look Photoshop, whatever." I'm saying I want it to clean me up and make me look good. I don't need to see every wrinkle in every photo, is what I'm saying. Okay, so on this phone, in the gallery. Let me pull up a picture here. You guys, back to the S Pen. I love the S Pen. I don't care how many of you say, "Oh, I never use the S Pen." I use it. I use it all the time. I use it when I'm scrolling, when I don't want to touch the screen with my fingers. I use it when I'm picking something. I use it when I'm, I love it. Okay, so you've got a bunch of editing features in this camera, in this gallery. You've got the AI editor, which we can go over that here in a second. Actually, yeah. So this is one of the features, right? This is one of the new AI features that they've got, right? So you can go in here, click this AI logo, all right? And it says tap or draw around anything you want to move or delete. So let's go ahead and get cache going here. It's going to sense what you're trying to select, pick them up. Oops. Deselect. Let me try it again. Touch and hold your selections to move or delete them. So then we're going to grab them, and we're going to move them high in the sky. Sorry, Chelsea, bye. We're going to move them high in the sky. Well, I don't like, let me move that. Over here. And then you click generate. And it says filling in the image, adding the missing pieces, sculpting new scenery. And it fills it in right here. You guys, this thing actually does a pretty good job, all right? So without the filling in portion, let's try another picture too. Let's see how it does on one of these. Okay, this is from my shop. Let's see if I can do it. AI, let's move this cabinet. So it selected it. I want to move it on top here. Generate. So for me, at first, I felt like this was basically, they were calling it AI, but it was basically Photoshop. But now, once you play around with it, the fact that it creates the new scenery and sculpts it in and fills it in, look at that. Yo, that is a pretty good job, all right? Seriously, this thing will do that's a pretty good job. That's a pretty obscure thing, right? I have cylinders over here. I mean, come on, right? So this is actually pretty cool. How often you guys are gonna use this as far as like circling and then moving the picture, I don't know, but this is a pretty cool feature and I appreciate the editing settings, okay? All the settings that you get. So for me, the camera here, it's definitely higher tier. This is not gonna be the phone I buy just for the camera. I'm gonna probably go to a Xiaomi, although I was somewhat disappointed in the 13 Ultra, but I'm waiting for the Vivo to be my camera phone. But this right here is not gonna disappoint you as a point and shoot, okay? You also do have, you have Expert RAW, focus. You guys will know more about this. The guys that are into the photos will know more about this than me, right? So you have all the settings here, right? You have portrait, yeah, all the pictures are fantastic, especially the portrait mode is great. Not as great as the Xiaomi. So if I'm getting a straight up camera phone, this would not be the phone that I go and get, okay? So now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the day-to-day, okay? So some of the new AI features here, they include the photo editor. Like I said, that was a pretty cool feature. I don't know how usable it's going to be in the practical world. Like you might want to move and shift. It's nothing I can't really go in and do with maybe PixArt, maybe except for maybe filling in the scenery. Okay, and then some of the other features you have is you have this. You have some of the calling features, which is like the live translate. Okay, which. For me, I was gonna try it with my mom to demo this, but the phone actually doesn't have Russian in it. So if you go in here, go into your phone app, your regular Samsung phone app, and go into settings, and you have text call. I put my text call on. It says answer calls without saying a word. A voice assistant will ask the caller why they're calling. You'll see what they say in a text chat. Then you can type and tap responses that will be read aloud to the caller. So this is a cool feature. I think this is pretty cool. We're gonna test this here in a second. It is rude. That is so rude. So you're telling me I'm calling you, right? And you answer me with a text. So you're gonna ignore me and answer me. You're not even sending me to voicemail to where maybe you're in an emergency. Maybe you're saving a burning, a family out of a burning building or something like that. You're gonna text me. I know you're sitting right there looking at your phone and you're going, I don't wanna hear your voice, dude. I'm gonna text you. So here we go. Let's give this a shot. Let me call myself here. Okay. I might block this out, but this is my other number, so I don't really care. You see here it says call assist. We're gonna hit call assist. Text call shows you what the caller's saying. Text call.
Hi, I'm using a voice assistant to convert your voice to text and respond to you. If you want to continue, please tell me why you're calling.
I'm trying to talk to my boy. Now you guys see here. All right. I'm talking over it. Let me try it. Something different. All right. Hang up. We're gonna do this again. I'm sorry. Call assist, text call.
Hi, I'm using an assistant to convert your voice to text and respond to you. If you want to continue, please tell me why you're calling.
I'm trying to talk to my homeboy.
Who TF is this?
It's your mom, bro. Answer.
Quit haunting my family.
Haunting? Bro, I'm just trying to talk to you.
No, man, I don't trust anything you're saying. Fuck off.
So you guys see that it's a pretty cool feature, but it's rude, man. If anybody answers me with a text, I'm gonna be mad, you guys. If one of my friends has this phone, which all of my people are on iPhone, but if anybody I know has this phone, they answer me with a text, I'm gonna be pissed, okay? And the live translation, we could try it. It's kind of hard because again, so you're gonna go in here, you gotta set it. Live translate on, get real-time translation during calls, okay? And I don't, it doesn't have Russian, right? So you can pick your language. And it's got Chinese, English, French, German, Hindi. I don't want to offend anybody here. Well, maybe. Let's maybe try this. Hola, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo se llama?
How do I love each other?
So you guys see it translates it in real time. And you know, you guys will have to test this out for yourself. Once they add Russian, I'll test this out with my mom. But this is, you know, it's a super cool feature, honestly. And, you know, it's interesting, you guys, because if you think about 25, 20 years ago, I think about this sometimes, maybe after I smoke, and it'd be kind of hard to plop yourself in the world, right? Because you need a paper map, you need to figure out how to communicate with people. And nowadays we have all these features, right? You could plop yourself anywhere in the world and you have Google Maps, stuff that works across all the countries, tech that works everywhere. It's kind of nuts, man. And it's kind of wild to think of the advancements that we've made in this short time span. Because you guys remember, man, the BlackBerry was hot not that long ago. I mean, I was old enough to be using it, right? So I was already a teenager. Maybe I'm aging myself. I'm 36, but it's just crazy. It's crazy how far we've advanced, and it's crazy to even be able to say that I'm going to call someone in a different language, and it's going to live translate on the phone while I talk to that person. So is it gimmicky? I don't know. I don't know how much you guys are actually going to be using this. I don't know how many situations you guys are in that you're talking to someone of a different language when you don't know the language. Some of the situations I could think of for me personally, if I'm doing sales to a different country, that could potentially be a benefit, right? But otherwise, if you guys are close friends or whatever, you're probably already fine. You're communicating somehow. Anyway, it's a cool feature for what it is, and I can certainly appreciate it, okay? The photo editing AI features are super cool. The call AI features are really cool. Like I said, rude as hell. All right. So I love one of the things that didn't get advertised is the always on display. All right. So this does not let me turn on with the S Pen. So I love the new always on display. So I don't understand why the iPhone, when they did the always on display that did the full screen, they got a lot of hate, man. All right. They got a lot of hate for, I don't understand why, because people were saying, oh, it's just a dimmer display. It's not an always on display. I don't care. I want the full screen display. I didn't like the little square we had. I was griping about that in one of my other reviews. I love this beautiful full screen, always on display, okay? And what you guys can do here, let's go real quick in the, I've got all these different wallpapers, right? You guys can download these. Wallpapers. You can download all these little wallpapers for the, I love this one too. You see that? I was trying to go with something a little lighter, but you guys can download these from Galaxy Themes. Go to top, all free, paid. So just so you guys know, the video wallpapers, they're only on your lock screen. So what's kind of garbage is you can't really set them as your live wallpaper. But if you guys want to, there's a lot of good apps out there. This Live Wall app is pretty good. This the Live Wallpapers app is pretty good. And I use these Maxillus. If you look up right here, Maxillus on the Play Store, it's all these different apps, and like some of them you pay for and some of them are free, but I don't, you'll just have to go through them, but they look so nice and realistic. I was using this, guys, check this out. I was using this Asteroids pack. This thing was sick. I love this wallpaper. Look at how cool it looks. I don't know if it shows through, but it looks super realistic. Look at that anti-glare screen working with the ring light. Come on, guys. This thing is sick. This phone is sick. So yeah, like I said, I love the new always on display, and you can mess around. It's so customizable. So here, if you guys go in to your Samsung store, actually, good luck. Let me see here. And if you type in if you go to your Samsung store, you type in good lock and you install this, it's going to open up a whole other world of customization for you guys on this phone. So after you do that, you can go into good lock here. And you guys see I got Multi-Star installed, which Multi-Star lets you mess with the split screen windows. Notice Star, you can manage your notifications, right? This is for your life up, and then you got makeup section, right? So I use a lot of this here. So I use Lockstar a lot. You can create your own always on displays. And once you set this to on, you'll be able to go like let's say you have good lock, and then you can go down here where all these apps are, Keys Cafe, Navstar, and you can download it. So download Theme Park, download Wonderland. You can create, this Wonderland is pretty cool. It's gonna install it as an app on your phone. So once you do that, let's go in here for a second. Let's go into Wonderland, right? And I can create my own moving wallpaper. You know what I mean? And I have one here. And basically, look at how cool this is. It's gimmicky, but it's cool. It's customizable. So you guys can see I got Chelsea and Cash there, right? And you can go in. You can select your scene here, right? So it moves already as you move your screen. You can edit, and you can add an image, right? Add a text or a video you can even add if you want. So I add an image, right? And I go in here and I pull Chelsea out. There's another thing you can do, right? If you go into your gallery here, I use this all the time, you guys. You guys go to your photo that you want, and you click on the subject. So if I want Chelsea here, and I do want Chelsea, who wouldn't, right? You can save it as an image. It saves it, and it'll pull her out and leave and pull her out of the background. And then you guys can use that for whatever you want. So anyway, so I'm in here. Right? And you can go in, edit, you can add an image, add whatever if you want. And then you can go image settings, transparency, apply individual motion so the image will move, preview. And now everything's moving. It's kind of cool. So it's whatever. It's stupid. You can call it stupid if you want, but it's super cool to be able to customize this. So that's Wonderland. Lockstar I use all the time. Well, I have my, look, you guys, I got that picture of Chelsea on here. So what you guys can do is you can go in here, and when you install Lockstar, you can then go into your settings, go into your wallpapers, click on your lock screen wallpapers here, click on the always on display here, and then you can see this. If you scroll down, if you have the Lockstar installed, you'll see this little timer right here. And you can create your clock faces. Look how cool this is. This is super sick. I can go right here to add, and you can create your own from scratch, analog clock. You can add everything from scratch, right? You can add an image, GIF, right? Graphic interface, right? Not GIF, no. Or you can go into one of the templates. There's a studio. This is for your watch. This is for your watches. You can go to My Clocks. You can go to Face. And this will give you templates. Look, you can edit this template, and you can go to, right here's your stack of everything that's on here. You got a cloud, you got the clock, you've got the date, and you got a picture GIF of these cats. So you can go to your GIF, right? You trash it. Let's trash that. I trashed it, right? Let's add image. I want these Rice Krispie treats I made yesterday. Right, so now I got my image here, but see how it's over the top of everything? So I'm gonna grab it and hold it. I'm gonna move it down below. It's like layers on Photoshop, so now everything's popped back up. So now I wanna pick my time, right? I want it to look like this. I don't know how to read military time because I'm not a badass like that. I'm just kidding, I do, but I'm saying for the purposes, right? So here's how I want it to look. Pick the different colors for your hour, for your colon, for your minute, right? Everything's super customizable, right? Then you pick your date. I want to move my clock over here. Cool, I want to move my date over here, right? What kind of format do you want it in? Look how cool this is. Everything is so customizable. I absolutely love this. And for me, it's like, you guys, some of this might be gimmicky, and a lot of times if you talk to people who love iPhone or are big into iPhone, it's like, well, why do you need all that stuff? All that stuff is so stupid or whatever. I'm paying $1,300, $1,400 for a phone, okay? Why shouldn't I have the option to use all of it? I don't have to use any of this if I don't want to. I don't have to use any live wallpapers. I don't have to use any always-on displays. I don't have to use any lock screens, customizable lock screens with little hearts popping out. Look at these live lock screens. I don't have to use any of that if I don't want to. If you think it's gimmicky, don't use it. But give me the option, right? So that's kind of my my gripe with iPhone is I end up sitting there poking at it going, do something. With this phone, I hate to say this, I sound like such a, I don't want to say nerd because I don't want to insult the nerds, but man, I take this phone out just because it feels so nice and just because of the stuff it does, man. It's so customizable. So yeah, here's another thing, right? I like to have a nice clean home screen here. So what I did is I downloaded from GoodLock. If you go to Life Up, you can do one-hand operation. And look, you can do you get your handles here, it maps them out for you, right? And you can put your swipe gestures. So I've got, if you click on, swipe gestures, you can go start application, you can go all these different things, right? And so I've got it when I swipe left, it opens my Gmail, all right? It just straight up opens my Gmail, right? When I swipe up, you could set these to, you see how I'm swiping? I got it to take a screenshot, right? So when I'm swiping down, it takes a screenshot. So easy. I don't have to click the buttons, the power and volume down, whatever. I just got it set. It takes a screenshot, right? Coming out of here, I got my quick apps, so I don't have to go into a different screen, so I can leave this screen for my widgets. Look at my photo widget is messing up. Come on, man. There we go. Come on. Right, so I've got my quick launcher, so it's got all my apps I use a lot here. So fantastic, super cool, super customizable. If I have this, if I pay this much for a phone, I want all these options. This phone is absolutely, it's fun. It's fun to play with. It's fun to mess with all the settings. It's fun to play around with, okay? So as far as the new AI features, you know, I'm not crazy impressed. I wouldn't go, oh my God, you know, this thing's changed my life forever, but it's got some pretty cool features in there. So, okay, as far as the work aspect of it, one of the things that honestly bothered me, once you get used to these Chinese phones, I keep saying that, once you get used to these Chinese phones, but there's just some things these phones do better. The 45-watt charging on this, it's gotta go, man. It's gotta go. This phone takes so long to charge. The battery, however they're processing it in the back there, whatever they're doing behind the scenes, the battery lasts a very long time. And what I did is I turned off my adaptive battery, which if you guys go into your settings, go to your battery, background usage limits. You can change all that here. Go to 3 dots up top, adaptive battery. You can turn it on and off. For me personally, I noticed that when I turn adaptive battery off, my battery tends to last longer. For those of you guys that don't know, what adaptive battery does is it analyzes your habits. So when you first get this phone, you're gonna go, this battery life is garbage, it's dying all the time. But what it's doing is it's analyzing your habits. So use it the way you would normally use the phone. And in a couple days, you're gonna notice that your battery life is improving, right? And that's because the battery has adapted to your usage. For me personally, when I shut that off, that's one of the first things I do. It ends up being, I tried it actually on this phone, I tried to let it adapt, and it ends up being better for me. The other thing I do, and I think I do this on all my videos, is if you guys go into settings, when I first get this phone, if you go into settings, if you scroll all the way down, you go to about phone. I gotta find this now. You guys gotta find build number, right? And when you click on build number, it says developer mode's already been turned on. It's gonna make you a developer the first time you do it. So when you back out, it's gonna add developer options to your settings. And what I do is I go in here, and this phone's pretty much got everything optimized already. But what I do is I turn off these animator duration scale off, transition animation off, Windows animation off. And what it does is it makes it feel like the phone's running faster. And I understand that all the frame rate or whatever the defenders are, the guys that, you know, write code and whatever are gonna tell me I'm garbage and I don't know what I'm talking about. It makes me feel like the phone is running faster. That's what I'm going for, right? I'm an average consumer. I don't necessarily know what's going on behind the scenes, but it makes the transitions from screen to screen faster, and it makes me feel like my apps open up faster. So that's something I always do on my Android phones as soon as I get them. So the battery is great. However, they're processing apps in the background is great, but it takes a long time to charge, okay? So I can charge, what I did the other day is I was charging all these phones, and I charged both of these Xiaomis before I charged this phone once, and this thing was ended up at 94%. So the battery's a beast on this. You guys aren't gonna have any problems with it. It takes a while to charge, all right? It really does. So Samsung needs to fix that. We're already to the days of the Xiaomi. We're to the days where phones can charge in 20 minutes flat from 0 to 100. So, you know, Samsung needs to catch up. I know we're all still afraid, but hey, if it's competing with Apple, then it's already caught up. Remember that I did the test on that iPhone 15 that took 2 hours to charge or whatever. Anyway, so overall, this is, this is a powerhouse of a phone. If you're using this for work, I use this phone for work. I use this phone for everything, right? It's not going to let you down on any aspect, right? And if you guys are using this a lot for business, right? So I can have my, let me see what I have here for work. Guys, see, I can have my team screen set up here for the multitasking, and my emails opened up in in the other screen, right? And you guys can be going over everything, right? Or, you know, you're in here in your meeting and your boss is talking and he's going, we're gonna have to cut everybody's pay. And if you guys are getting paid $900 a week now, you're gonna get paid $300 less a week. And you're going, shit, what is that? So you gotta pop up your calculator. So you open it up in split screen, right? And you go, oh my gosh, I'm only gonna get paid $600 a week. I gotta get a side hustle, man. I gotta start, you know, doing whatever I can do. For the work aspect, this phone moves super fast. The processor is super quick. It's not gonna let you down. This thing is blistering quick. It's the top of the line phone. It's the best on the market right now. So no gripes with that whatsoever, okay? So for me personally, I'm gonna speak frankly about this. You guys get the peace of mind with this phone. You know it's gonna work in the US. And you guys know I review a lot of these phones in the Xiaomis, the Vivos and all that, and everything's great. But for me, there's always in the back of my mind somehow, there's always, I don't know if you guys have this or not, but there's always a question of, is this Chinese phone working to the best of what it can offer me here in the US? And the answer a lot of times is no. For example, for this Xiaomi 13, now this Mix Fold 3 works great. I get all my notifications. This works fantastic on T-Mobile, but this Xiaomi was getting delayed notifications, right? And I talked about that in my review of the phone. So there's always something in the back of my mind when I have a Chinese phone that I go, is this phone optimized to work in the US? The answer is, of course, no, it's not. But we get these phones because we love playing around with them. We love, you know, seeing the different phones, and I love the cameras on the Chinese phones, and I love the way the build quality and how they feel in your hand on a lot of these Chinese phones, you know? So we get them for different reasons. But this phone, you have the absolute peace of mind that it's optimized for use in the US, okay? It's optimized for use on all of your carriers, right? You're gonna get, you know, you have the peace of mind that you can grab this phone. You're not going to miss your calls unless your carrier is doing something funky. T-Mobile's notorious, and they're better this year. But last year, man, my texts are cutting out. And I get emails from T-Mobile that are like, hey, you're going to miss your text because we're working on a tower nearby. And I'm like, dude, when I was living up north a little bit last year, I was getting these emails like once a week. They're like, you might not get notifications because we're working on a tower. I'm like, how many towers? You guys better be building like 6 new towers next to this tower for how long you're working on it, okay? So for your work mode, this is fantastic. And again, what I don't mention anymore because it's so standard, you get the S Pen, okay? This S Pen, I use it all the time. I think it's better to navigate on. I think it's better to write with. I love it. I absolutely love it. So when I go into my Samsung Notes here, you know, you can add a note. Oh, I absolutely love this. Call Chelsea beautiful, right? And you save it, right? Because she is. And so you guys, I love this pen, right? And then with the camera mode, if I have the pen out, I can snap the picture with it. We do use this all the time. We put it on our selfie, turn the phone around, and then go stand over there without having to use. Yes, I know you can use the timer, but without having to use the timer, you can use the pen and snap the picture. It's awesome, right? Swipe to change songs, swipe volume up and down. Awesome. I love it. I love the pen. I use it all the time. So this thing is going to take care of whatever you need. Work mode, play mode, it's going to take care of whatever you need. While we're on the work aspect of this, let me mention one thing that's unrelated, guys, because I've been kind of heated. If you guys are doing business, man, this is not related to phones. This is not related to YouTube. This is related to my real business out in the real world. I want to encourage everybody to do business the right way, okay? What I don't understand sometimes, it bothers me, it irks me so much. We're all grown adults. We get product out, you guys pay your bill. It's very simple, right? People do a service, you pay your bill. People get you a product, you pay your bill. And a lot of these people, they just don't want to pay their bill. And I understand why. I'm not going to ask the question why, because I understand the answer why, because nobody wants to part with their money, okay? But look, I'm going out of my way. You call me on a weekend, you call me on a weekday, and you go, I need this product out in a day. And I bust my balls, I bend over backwards to get you out the product the next day, and you don't pay your bill. And then I got to chase it. And then I go, hey, buddy, hey, can you check? What happened? Oh, the check's in the mail, the check's in the mail, the check's in the mail. What is it? Well, long train to China, whatever the hell the saying is, okay? I'm like calling these guys going, wait, did the check get lost? Did it get lost in Kansas on its way to Colorado? What happened? So it just, I hate when people don't do business the right way. So if you guys are out there doing business, don't stiff anybody. It's so simple. It's so simple, but I cannot believe it has to be said because we're about to get more aggressive with these guys and try to get paid. And I'm like, Just do business the right way. I get you the product out, pay me the tab, get it going. Let's keep the world moving, you guys. Be a good person, be a decent, don't even have to be a good person, just be a decent person, be a fair person. Would you have liked to get paid on time if you did someone a service? Yes, you would have. So treat people the same way. Treat people the way you want to be treated, okay? This phone, back to it, is not going to disappoint you in the work aspect, okay? The charging is the only gripe I have about this, is that it takes too long to charge. Samsung, this isn't the Galaxy S7 anymore, all right? This thing, phones aren't blowing up in our hands anymore, leaving a big old, welt on my ear because it blew up under my pillow. Let's get the charging going, okay? So, let's get to the overall, all right? Overall, you guys, I hate the price of this phone, all right? So with this, what did I end up paying? I think I ended up paying $740 total. That's with taxes and everything. And I traded in a Galaxy Z Flip 5. So they're going to charge you whatever the original price on Samsung was. We can go look, actually, right now. We can do it in real time. Samsung.com. I don't want my orders. I already ordered. I don't need my account. Come on. Samsung.com. I don't want web history. Ooh, this is pissing me off, man. Samsung.com, regular. Okay. I want to shop. Offers. Phones. Guys, I'm pissed. It keeps trying to take me to the app. I'm so sick of it taking me to the app. Just fucking let me shop. Desktop site. Thank you. Buy now. Yo, I'm about to throw this. Anyway, when I was buying this, it was like $1,400 crossed out, $1,300 for the 512 gigabyte, which is what I got, right? And then I traded in my Galaxy Z Flip. They gave me $600 for it or whatever. So the total ended up being like $740, all right? For $740, this phone is absolutely worth it, all right? If you guys are paying full price, you can probably find, let's go real quick. Let's go to eBay. If you're paying the full price and not trading in, you can find a Galaxy S23 Ultra. Pre-owned for $799, that's $800. Brand new for $869. Well worth it, okay? If you guys already have an S23, it's a hard sell on this phone because you're going to get the flat screen if that's important to you. You want to get that. The AI features are whatever. You can probably fill those in with other apps on your S23 Ultra. The live translate, I don't know how much you're going to use that. I don't know how much you're going to use the text, call answering features. You're going to get the S Pen, same, all functionality is same, and you're going to get the 10x zoom with the S23 Ultra, and then it's 5x here. So, for me personally, if you have the S23 Ultra, I would not be upgrading myself. If I wasn't a phone person, right? If you're a phone person, you're going to upgrade anyway. You don't need my opinion on it anyway. So overall, this right here, it's going to be my single phone. You guys know that, a lot of times I have my iPhone and then I use my other phone for fun. I use my other phone for a camera just because it's a more folding phone. So I'll always have this as a backup phone or whatever. This is my backup phone right now, the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3. I still haven't been able to, these both I'm selling, the 13 Ultra and the Mix Fold 3 I'm selling, but this one's listed already for sale and this one's not because I kind of love this phone. There's something I've been unable to give up about this phone. This is the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3. So this right here is my one phone now. I take this, of course I got the burnt orange, that's the Samsung exclusive. You got to order from Samsung to get the burnt orange. I think the lime color too. And then the other ones are your, you're gonna have the titanium. And again, okay, so this year you have the titanium. I think Jerry Rig Everything did the test on it, and the titanium on this is even less of it than on the iPhone 15. But either way, nobody's cracking this phone. The new glass is there's a new glass on it too. It's everything is super durable. Everything's super sturdy. I mean, it feels like a flagship phone. It feels like the best phone out, and that's what it is. So let's get to the bottom line. The bottom line is this, all right? This is the best Android phone out right now. When you combine all the factors, it may not have the absolute best of every single thing, but it's combined the best Android phone out right now, my opinion, all right? So my bottom line is this. If you're trying to get into the Android market and you want the best phone, this is it. This is the best Android phone you're gonna be able to get this year, hands down, you know, until the Vivos come out, until more phones come out, right? We're in February. So this is the best Android phone right now. And being that we're in February, it's not really saying a whole lot. So the bottom line for me is this. If you got the money, buy this phone. If you have the Galaxy S23 Ultra, don't upgrade. If you have anything less than that, go ahead and upgrade, because the phone's only gonna cost you $700-800 once you do the trade-in. Go off a Samsung, right? And do the trade-in. Phone's only gonna cost you $700-800. So you got the cash. This phone is absolutely sick. It's something about it keeps me coming back to it. I love everything about this phone. As much as I hate the price on this phone, I love everything about this phone. This thing is an absolute beast, and grab it. Yo, thanks you guys for tuning in as always, and we'll be back with more videos. Thanks you guys.